Okay, day 8. Let me pull up the results. 500 bucks, 7 sessions, half hour each day. It's going decent. Could be worse, could be better. Had our worst day of the whole video series yesterday. But it happens. It's a lot of being a professional is how you react to bad days and how you react to loss, honestly. So, no biggie. We're back at it again. We're going to play as close as we can to perfect. Nobody's perfect, but we're going to try and get there. By the way, we lost all of our settings and had to redo them again. 'Tis life. So 5 deuce suited on table 1, 10-5 suited on table 2, and queen 4 suited on table 3. Gonna actually play the 5 deuce since we're getting a decent price. Flop some backdoor stuff. Oh, alerts, alerts, alerts. Nearly forgot. Let's turn them off. Get some peace and quiet. And yeah, sit back and hopefully I can bang out a pretty good session, get some profit in the books. And like I say before in other videos, feel free to play your own tunes, play your own music. Not going to clash with my audio. So the 5 deuce, we're basically got the nut low. We could bluff to get him off hearts or spades himself. I think we actually will do that, and we don't need to make it very expensive at all. If he's got like Jack 10 of spades, he's not going to call this $1.50. Or if he's got 10-8 of hearts. He could just have an ace. But I believe this to work enough at a time. He does just have an ace. He was thinking of value raising. Which is, it's pretty fair that he considered value raising after I bet so small. Lose to deuces there on table 3. As we all know, deuces never loses. Ace queen off on the bottom table 2. Actually, I like my background like this. 993, this is one we will mix. Don't want to bet it too much, don't want to check it too much. Gonna go for the bet this time. As we lost our settings, a few of our hotkeys are not working. On the 993 with the ace queen just a second ago, if we're betting that board too much, we're just going to get check raised a lot and life's just going to start to get a bit tricky for us. We want to try be checking back a decent amount at a time or an equal amount at a time to the amount we're betting. King 10, obviously going to continue versus check raise. Having the 10 of hearts is kind of an ugly card as we block some of his weaker check raises. But he's still got plenty of stuff. 5-4, 8-5 and 9-8 are all open-enders. He can check raise some king X for value as well, tin value, but he did go pretty big on the flop, so I discount some of that stuff. Check it back. River trips, which is nice. 6-2 suited on table 2, really nice board as well. Got some decisions on sizings. I think I'm going to 2/3 both tables here. Yozan could have turned an ace on table 1 if he's bluffing some like ace 5 hand or ace of hearts X. Don't want to bet too big with the king as we're just going to get too much credit for actually having what we have. It's just going to look like trips too much if we bomb, I think. But then again, we've missed draws ourselves. Just some of them are going to bet turn, so. Okay, pretty big miss with the king jack, but yeah, we'll fold versus that size. Versus a tiny size with our 2 overs, I wouldn't really have known what to do, to be honest. As much as we missed the board with king jack, 2 overs is 2 overs, you know. 8-7 suited, I don't think we could 3-bet. Well, I know we can't really 3-bet in these positions in theory, but actually I like to do it. I like to be the guy that can have suited connectors and like all sorts of 3-bet pots in different positions. Can rep more boards then when we're battling the regs. I don't want to be the guy that never 3-bets like 9-8 suited, 8-7 suited, hijack versus low jack. Because those dudes just get blown off all the low boards. Ace jack off, just a easy peasy fold now once it goes open in 3-bet. Ace 10 will be our worst ace to open from this position. Some people might just fold it right here, as it is cash. No antes, rake. Rake affects every decision. And also, the fact that player pool likes to 3-bet so much also hurts opens like this, as we're out of position against 3 players on table 2 who can 3-bet us. Just going to start betting big ourselves. Going to go for the 3/4 size as he's checked back, showing some weakness, and now we see a double flush draw board. I think the big size is totally natural. Hearts coming in is obviously a worry. Some king high hearts, some jack high hearts. I expect hearts with less showdown value to start betting flop, so gonna go 2/3 for value here. Maybe a king queen will look us up. Maybe a bit optimistic. The reason I didn't want to check call the ace 10 was I didn't think he had enough like just missed straight draws after we bet big on the turn. I don't think he's going to have enough jack 10 to just fire on the river. I think he's just going to be quite ace x and queen x heavy. Here we min bet flop with the 10s. Going to check back turn now and see what he does on river. Do we want to get some value against hands like 7s, 8s, a sticky king high? I don't think so. I think he's got a queen too much, which he does. Four tree suit is actually a low frequency. I think we could 3-bet this super low frequency. So there are 2 things I want to check now. 4-3 suited versus big blind versus early position, and 8-7 suited low jack or hijack versus low jack. There. Sorry about that. Girlfriend just came home. 10-5 versus a min is a pretty ugly spot, but I think versus a fish, we're just going to play position versus the min raise. Three bet the 5s here. As I said before, don't want to fold and I don't want to call, as we're just going to see squeezes from small blind to big blind a little bit too much. I think the 3-bet is the best way to realize equity. Kind of similar spot here with the 4s. This one I will call. The blinds will squeeze a little bit less given that it's early position that opened. And also the dude went 3x. So we're just going to try and get the showdown now. 10-7 off. 10-7 off. I was going to 3-bet it, but I'm not sure we do 3-bet it, so I'll just play the safe one and call. Now I'll fold the fours. I give a lot of credit to delayed bets. Even with the 10 of clubs here and some backdoor straight draws, it's actually interesting. I think I will float. 7 of hearts as well is relevant. And now start bluffing. We could go small size turn, which would make our river bet even more profitable, as his range would be wider. I think I like that. I think I like small turn, and he might play his hand face up on the turn versus a small size and just check raise all his good stuff and check call all his weaker stuff, which means we could just 2x pot the river if he check calls that 1/3 size and win a ridiculously high amount at a time, unless he improves on river. Jack 9 off will be a fold. Blind versus blind. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, ace 4 suited, gonna 3-bet this first button. Somewhat standard. Fives will open it up. Could be getting 4-bet here with the ace 4. Looks like it. Looks like he's in the kitchen. Check back to fives. I'm gonna fold the fives now. Okay, we're gonna roll this ace 4 suited. It's sad because we don't know the guy. Good luck. See, the reason we're doing this is because in theory this is a 5-bet jam. Oh, that's beautiful. Not all the time, of course. That's why we used the randomizer to 50-50 it. We rolled high. I wanted to back out of sending it because he was an unknown, but his 4-bet size was pretty decent and respectable. So seems like he knows what he's doing. Therefore, he should have some 4-bet bluffs if he knows what he's doing. So yeah, nice hand us, nice hand him, gotta say. You gotta find the 5-bets. Can't just have aces and kings and ace king every time you 5-bet. Well, that's how most people play, but it's sad. The ace jack suited is sad. We've a good shot to the nuts, but obviously a very bad board for our hand, but he could have stabbed a hand like 7-6 of spades there and just got it through. It's the power of position, I guess. But yeah, when you see boards like that apps that just completely misses your hand, you have to be aware the good chance they've missed the board has missed your opponent's hand as well. So can't always play those spots too passively, although I've punted a lot of money by playing those spots aggressively, so maybe playing them passive is fine. Yeah, let's stick to that. When your hand completely misses the board, just don't put any money in. It's a pretty good rule, right? 6-3 suited, even though we block the 5x and have some backdoor straight draws, turn open enders. Just gonna fold. If I had a diamond or spade, I would have check raised. Blocking more of his continues and giving us better barrels on turns and rivers. Okay, ace king suited. Not sure how much calling we'll do if he 4-bets. Probably some, actually. Ace king suited is a nice hand to play in position versus 4-bet, because some of his bluffs will be hands like ace 5 suited and ace queen off, which obviously are hands that are nice to keep in when we've ace king suited. Uh, 10-9. If this was jack 6 deuce, this would be even better, because then there are some better turns. Okay, so king 8 suited on the big blind table 2. And kings table 3 in the cutoff. Hopefully going to get some action. Jack 10 suited, another beautiful hand. Okay. Happy to continue versus 3-bet on table 1, of course. You know, table 1 and table 3, not the most amazing boards for us, but actually not the worst boards also. Kick it off with a 1/4 c-bet on such a dry texture here on table 3. And the Jack 10, we're just going to go ahead and check raise. We got 5s, we got 3s. Maybe we could have went smaller. We kind of want to rep King X. Some like tin value check raises with King X. King 8 suited will just fold. And the kings, I think, will barrel and check back river, rather than check back turn and let him pick the size on the river, right? So hopefully he doesn't figure out what we're doing and like check raise an ace for value here on the turn, table 3. Now King Jack's just going to be a fold versus low Jack. Ace is table 1. Get the kings through. Just going to start betting 2/3. We'll probably triple off on a lot of runouts, of course. Just get the insta fold. Yeah, I was hoping we get to play this 8-7 suited. Big blind is a player we know. Is he about to 3-bet us? Is the dream over? Oh, he folds. Okay, King Jack, open it up. Seven deuce, snap fold, queen 6. Okay, get the walk, like it. King deuce folding. Let's try and get the folds in nice and quick. 9-3 suited. Do we want to wait around? I think so. Even just because it's a fish in the big blind. Sadly, we get jammed on. But if he's doing stuff like that, that means he can do stuff like that post flop when we flop the flush. So if he's going to be a little bit crazy, then that's fine for us. And it's the reason we want to get in the mix with him initially, right? But maybe still 9-3 suited is just too weak. Ace Jack suited versus a very small 3-bet out of position. Gonna call and flop very well. 10-8 suited. I'm actually gonna do some checking with the 10-8 suited. Not this time though, or not 10-8 suited, 10-8 offsuit. So he checks to me, which is weird. I'm just gonna check it back. I don't want to start like playing an absolute monster pot with it versus his top set of kings or whatever. He could just be goofing around, but yeah, we'll just play the pot low variance. We have position. Bet and flop doesn't accomplish too much. Okay, pretty bad run out. I have no idea what this guy's 3-bet range looks like when he goes that like less than 3x size out with a small blind. I imagine this is just queens. I really imagine this is just queens. I don't think we can hero call. I mean, we can if we want to. Like, people who choose weird sizings like that also goof around with like ace-9 off and ace-7 off, but I give his line credit. I believe his story. The delayed double barrel. And the reason I suspect queens is he checks flop when he sees the king. He bets small on the turn to get some value. And then when another king is comes on the river, now he feels more comfortable about his queens or jacks or whatever. So yeah, I think we played the ace-jack suited fine. We played it a bit passive, but whatever. He can just like check jam the flop. If you know, you never know what's going to happen. I like to take the cautious line if somebody's already indicated that they could be doing some weird stuff. 5-4 suited, we will play and we will 3-bet. King Jack off, we won't be giving him a free flop. King Jack off table 3, won't be putting any money in just yet. And ace 9-9 it's actually a pretty good board for us. Not only is it super dry and we're going to generate loads of folds, but we've backdoor straight and flush draws. Let's say the 3 of hearts peels off. Now we've a combo draw. So, and now we will start putting in money with our king jack. Try and rep pocket sevens or an 8-7 type hand. Thoughts now on betting river again. We can get hands like ace jack to fold. We can get other king jacks to fold. We can get a hand like ace queen. We can get a naked ace of diamonds to, or ace of spades to fold. He could just have a 7 himself. I feel like pocket 7s and 8-7s might stab flop. Gonna barrel the king jack for 3/4 and gonna barrel the other king jack for 2/3 on the river. Try and get him off some of those hands. Love to see it. Getting them both through. Getting our steals on with the king jack offs. That's what you like to see. Queen 4 suited actually is isn't just a. I think this is around a line. I always used to auto defend these because it's a suited hand, right? It's a good suited hand. We're gonna try it out. I think it's a fold. I'll check after the session. Poker's hard. All these different spots that you need to remember what to do. But I was looking at that very recently. And I feel like Queen 4 suited is just like marginal, and it's a very nice flop table too. Gonna go nice and small. King Jack, pretty good board as well. Gonna actually start sizing up for half pot. The reason I say it's an he calls very quick. Gonna go 2/3 on the turn. I don't like the absolute snap call though. We'll try and get him off on the turn. The snap call could be a pocket 8s, pocket 9s that wants me to slow down, and they're like, okay. The reason I say it's a nice board, by the way, with King Jack, we had King Jack of diamonds, and it came down Queen 6-4 with 1 diamond. And the Queen was a spade, which, sorry, I'm explaining this not so great, but us having the King Jack of diamonds, and when the Queen isn't a diamond, it means we block some suited Queen X combos. So there we block Queen Jack of diamonds, and we block King Queen of diamonds. It might sound a bit like blah blah blah, but it's definitely a relevant factor. When we play these 3-bet pots, people aren't continuing with their King Queen off, King Jack off, so we're then left with the suited combos, and there's not a whole lot of suited combos of Queen X, and when we block 2 of the main ones, it's super relevant. It's gonna just make him less likely to have Queen X. And that's why we were happy to barrel off the King Jack of diamonds there on table 1 for a 2/3 size in the turn, just really expecting him to, or knowing that he can have less Queen X with our combo, with our combos removal. I could have simplified that a little bit better, but yeah, multitasking here, it's not the easiest. We're gonna bluff the ace jack here. The board has just got like better and better for us. He's check called on the flop. He shouldn't have much 10x, and he definitely shouldn't have much king x. It is a spot where we're going to be bluffing a lot, so would not be surprised if he sniffed it out. Maybe like not going absolutely huge will give us a bit more credit, like something like this. Very hard for him to call, but as I said, also a spot where we're bluffing a lot. He could have an ace-10 hand. He could have turned a 10. But we're looking at something like a 6-7-6 suited, a pocket 5s, a pocket 8s type hand, pocket 7s. Okay, they're pretty good call down by him. He was aware of the situation. Kudos to him. King Queen C. The guy 3.5x. I'm actually just going to defend. He snap checks back. I'm going to start going for a 3/4 size with plenty of straight draws and flush draws. And I really didn't expect him to be folding much after he snap checks the flop. 9-3 suited will fold this one. 9-6 suited we will play if everyone folds, and they do. We get that luxury. We'll c-bet the king 7-3. Got some backdoor straight draws we can barrel on, and it's just a flop that will generate a lot of folds. I don't really like this 2.3 size. King queen, gonna 3-bet. Pretty standard. And just a few minutes left. It's Saturday night over here, by the way. 1 p.m. back in the UK. 10-8 suited, small, cut off our small blind. 10-8 suited, cut off versus small blind. This is close. We're obviously defending 10-9 suited. I think this will get in the mix as well. We can mix it for a 50-50. We roll high, so we'll defend this time. You know, the 10-8 suited is just right on the line. We're going to fold 10-7 suited. We're definitely going to call 10-9 suited. 10-8 suited we can call half the time. We're going to raise here. And we're going to use that smaller size, which gives us more top pairs in our range. This is just mainly for protection. Jack 10 is a different hand class as it needs less protection, as the jack is a card we don't need to worry about. When we have 10-8 and we have to worry about the jack, queen, king and ace. Gonna play the nines. This guy just leads. Do we raise? No. Yeah, just a huge amount of value in getting him to fold out his overcards there. And maybe even overcard that has one spade. And he can turn flush draws and stuff. We deny a lot of equity there. The eights now we have to fold. Queen 9 suited. This guy's just donks flop half pot, donks turn half pot. I don't know what he's up to. We won't raise our queen 9. We could even think about raising like queen 10, queen jack, but well, he just had sevens. God, if I knew he was that loosey goosey, we definitely need to find a raise with our queen there. Triple donk. This is interesting. It's a board that is absolutely in our favor, which is why I think it's fine to just start betting pot right away. It's not. It doesn't feel amazing to do it when we don't have it. Oh, he's done. He's done. Like unless he has the queen jack, which we block, or some ace 10, ace 3 hand, king 10 maybe. Wow, he does find a call. Well, we've been having a good solid little session, and it's going to be sad if he has a snap here versus our 1.7x pot, but I'm really liking this bluff, especially with our combo, specific combo. Blocking the queen jack, blocking the 10x 2 pairs. He doesn't have ace king, he doesn't have aces kings, he doesn't have 10s. So, gonna try get the max here with our queen jack. Gonna go for it all. We got 8 seconds until he's folding. Let it go, mate. Yes, got it through. He was Brazilian as well. I just saw he was Brazilian last second. So that's a bonus. Because I think it's a little bit harder to bluff Brazilians, as they love a good bluff. Here with the nines is another spot where we could need some protection, a lot of protection, but he's betting quite big. He's betting quite big. I don't think we can have any leads on the nines or on the 5. We can if we want. Like, you can lead whatever fucking turn you want, but don't think it makes a whole lot of sense in theory, as you want to lead in spots where the board starts to favor you. And yeah, he doesn't really have any 5x apart from maybe ace 5, but it's unlikely that he big bets ace 5 on the flop. Regardless, we don't have much 5x. We have some 6-5 suited ace 5, I guess. It could have been an okay spot to lead. I think now on river we block. He's not really going to give us credit for any like jack 10 of clubs hands because of his flop size. I think 1/4 is what we go here, and if he raises, Okay, that's a fine outcome. Turn went check check, and we managed to get a very small bet on the river. So nines against his tens, we lost a pretty relatively small pot there. So I'm fine with that. And that's one of the functions of the block bet. The block bet is a small bet. The block bet is going to run into better hands and worse hands. But when it runs into the better hands, we've now set a price. If we check the river, he's going to feel very comfortable about his pocket tens. He's going to bet bigger than 1/4. He probably should have value raised, but if he did value raise the tens there, we could have jammed. We were probably going to jam, honestly. Yeah, very interesting, very interesting. Decisions, a certain decision can be made in a hand, and a hand can just go down a completely different road because of it. Here with the ace-5, we will 3-bet half the time, call this time, flopping a nut flush draw, which is really nice. Do we check back versus check? Do we bet small? Do we bet big? I don't want to bet big. I just think if we have a hand like Queen 5 of clubs and we want to bluff, we're just going to go 1/3. It's a fine texture just to stab, right? We don't need to start betting big, doing anything fancy. He's going to have loads of auto folds. Monotone boards are boards where you're basically going to get, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're going to get the most auto folds on monotones. Like when you see a monotone board, you can assume there's a lot of snap folds in your opponent's range, just like there's a lot of snap folds in your range. Just like when you have ace queen of diamonds and it comes down 8 7 6 all spades. Now your ace queen of diamonds is an absolute snap fold, right? I hope you get what I'm saying. Gonna size up a little bit now. We're so deep with the 6-4 suited. 8-7 not gonna play, although we could have. Okay, so gonna wrap it up soon. Not the most exciting session ever, but I think it's a solid one. I think here with the Queen Jack we're gonna play as we see a fish fillet here in the cutoff. Hopefully we don't get intruded by one of the regs behind. Okay, gonna make this the last hand. We could get tricky here. I think I will. He's at a shallower stack depth than normal. And fish can do some weird stuff, like just absolutely take off versus checks, you know, like if he bet pot on the turn, I would not be surprised. I'd be like, okay, that's why we checked. When he snap checks, I feel like he's done with the hand a lot, but I'm going to go half pot. I think 1/3 is a little too weak and small on a double flush draw board on such a wet texture. But yeah, I was happy with how today's session went. I think we played better than last session. We were a little bit more focused. I think it went decent, you know. But however I think it went is irrelevant. It's the numbers that are the most important thing at the end of the day. And let me just refresh. This was the results before the session. We were up 500. And after our little grind today, okay. Well, that's absolutely tragic. As our settings got reset, the folder in which our Pokerstars hands, the Pokerstars hands go into a certain folder. When your settings get reset, that folder changes. So now my tracker isn't tracking my Pokerstars hands, even though I tried to fix it yesterday. But not to worry though. I just got to open my Pokerstars. I know what the balance was before the session, and I just got to close down all the tables. Okay, so looking like about 165 bucks we made today. A bit sad that it hasn't gone into the tracker. I'll crunch the numbers properly and put it in the edits above me how much we made, but looking like about $160. Good day's work for me, a half-hour grind. I'm happy with that after a brutal like 500 loss yesterday. It's good to get back on track. That takes us up about 660 so far in the challenge. But yeah, cheers for watching. I'm going to bang out another video tomorrow before my Sunday tourney session. I'm going to fix all the technical issues and whatnot. And yeah, get in the comments, tell me what you thought, and subscribe. Come back for more. Bye bye.